All right, give us the rundown of that kickoff.
Simple mistake. I mean, it was an honest mistake by Coop, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate it happened. He knows it was a mistake. And, that's football. I mean, I can promise you this: you wouldn't have a better guy, as far as just work ethic, doing the right things, being in meetings. Like, he just made an honest mistake. The wind was tricky, and it was it's typical Chicago. In January, really really cold, really really windy. Hence the Windy City, right? So, but he made an honest mistake.
So do you coach him to go back there and catch it no matter what? Because he kind of did the same thing, but it was on the other side.
Right, and the wind took it. The exact instructions: put your heels on the 3-yard line, and that's unfortunately, it happened. But again, you live and you learn. On to the next play.
Who's your returner this week?
It's a good question. We'll see.
You guys did one of those punts with Riley where he kind of like rolled out. What was the thought process behind that?
Anytime you have a extremely dangerous returner, you can't just shoot it out of a jugs machine to him. So any way strategically or schematically, you can make him get uncomfortable and not just catch the ball, catch a 60-yard, 5, whatever, hang punt. If you have to make a move off the spot, make him feel uncomfortable, that's kind of the whole premise, right? So then if you watch us the whole year, that's just kind of what we do. We try not to just, hey, here's a 45-yard, 4-8 ball. Let's have you return it because you're faster than everybody on the freaking field, other maybe than Keon. We don't want to do that, right? So anytime we get a dangerous guy, we're going to try and do our best to negate him.
Does the Washington guy fit into that category?
Yes, he's very, very, very dangerous. He already has a touchdown this year on kickoff return, 101 yards, so against Atlanta. So, again, I literally just got out of a meeting telling that guy he will run through the smoke. And he's super, super talented. He's fearless. And, he's a guy you just got to deal with.
Why did you put Bachman back there as like the kind of double returners? I don't think you guys have done very much of that.
Win. It's again, anytime you can have more ball handlers on the field, it's a windy situation. The ball could come off the tee, and it could be headed in one direction, and all of a sudden it ends up on the other side of the field. So anytime, anytime it's windy outside, you want to have as many ball handlers back there as you can.
I assume this might be the last time we talk to you this season. How do you look at what your special teams units did this year as a whole?
Obviously looking back, there's a lot of plays we'd like to have back. I think we've done some good things. We're developing a young core. We had a ton of injuries, with our core. So again, we've talked about this before. You talk about continuity, whenever, and this is on all sides of the ball and in every unit. When you got a great O-line, you got the same guys playing. They're playing every snap together. The defensive line, same thing. You got the same 4 or 5 guys rotating in. You got the same punt team every week. You got the same kickoff team. When you can develop that continuity, right, that helps breed consistency, right? So if you got a lot of changes, constant changes, and big changes, it's just hard to get that continuity. And it's not an excuse, it's just the reality of the situation. So, again, if we could have more continuity, I think that will help with the consistency, which would help with the performance. And, I think we've been okay. To be honest with you, I think we've been okay. It's just we haven't made enough game-changing plays to help our football team. But that's, sometimes that's the reality of a season. You want to make as many plays as you can, but again, you want to make sure you're sound too, because I've seen it the other way where you don't have continuity and you give up a bunch of big plays because of that. We haven't done that. So knock on wood, right? So we just got to stay consistent with the guys that we have out on the field, coach them up, get them better, and if it's 3 right tackles 3 weeks in a row on the punt team and they're different, so be it. Right? That's why they call you coach. Right? That's why we get paid to do a job. Right? So that's our job, to coach them up. And we got to make sure that they're able to perform on game day. So,
in retrospect, how much were you hoping to get Kadarius at some point to, as your returner?
you know what? I don't worry about players in particular. Obviously you want a game changer back there and a guy that can make a play, but I'm going to coach whoever's out there. Who's ever out there, doesn't matter. It could be Kadarius, it could be Darius Slayton, it could be Alex Bachman, it could be whoever. Our job as coaches is to, when Joe tells me, okay, this guy is returning punts this week, or this guy, you got him available this week, he'll play. So it's not my job I don't worry about who I don't have. I just worry about who I have. And I focus on him, and we focus on him, and just make sure whoever that person is able to do the job.
Is there,
We got 2 more.
is there any nervousness from you or the staff about job security going into this game?
Never. Not me. I can't speak for the staff. I'm just telling you, for me, look, I just do my job, and whatever happens after that, it happens. I promise you. There will, and I want y'all to hear this clearly. I will never lay my head down on a pillow worry about job security, because I do the best I can. I leave it all out on the table. I try and do everything I can possibly do to do my job the best I can do. So I promise you, I'm not worried about job security.
What do you think the best case is for this staff coming back and continuing to coach what you've built?
Best cases is to build on the things that we've done, and I know sometimes it's always easy to second guess and critique and say, oh, they don't do this, you don't see a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes. There's some good things that are happening, and we just got to keep building and stay to the process. A lot of times, when you're building on swamp ground, you got to go 10 times deeper before you start going up, right? And we are on swamp ground if you hadn't figured it out. So, and it's a little harder here. It's not Cleveland, it's not, other places, it's New York City. And it's harder to build here because you got a lot of things that you're working against, and it's hard. You're going to get your head beat in, you're going to get your teeth kicked in, you're going to get booed in the stadium. And if you're not strong mentally, you're not going to be able to make it here. And that's the reason why they say if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, but it is hard here. And you just got to stay the course, keep pounding, keep grinding, and eventually you'll get to where you want to be, right? Because you'll have some success, and it'll happen. And we've seen this city flip. We already know what it is, right? We've seen you one week, they say, Eli sucks. We've seen that. Right now it's freaking names all in the rafters after 2 Super Bowls. We've seen it here. We know what it is, right? So the guys that have been here, we understand it, and we know exactly what it is. But, again, you just got to keep your head down, keep working, keep grinding, and eventually you get to where you want.
Last one more working against you here than maybe other places.
Don't act brand new. It's tough here. This is New York City. It's tough. This is the hardest place. This is the hardest place to have success. So when you have success here, that's why the franchises are iconic. New York Yankees, New York Knicks, New York Giants. When you have success here, it goes all over the world, right? So if it's worldwide success, it's not going to be easy, right? So we understand that, and you got to know that walking in the front door. You know what it is. You see these logos all around the world. You get off a plane in Germany, and you'll see a Giants logo. You'll see a Yankees logo. That's what it is, right? We're talking about the best of the best, the elite of the elite, right? So it's hard here. It's not easy, right? So we just got to make sure we just keep our head down, keep working.